Today, I want to talk about how I made my first $1,000 online right after I quit my job. I quit my job, I landed a high ticket client, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have, I had a little bit of savings, but all I had were my skills, laptop, I had Wi-Fi, and I had a belief that if God gave me the vision, He will also give me the strategy. Today, I'm giving you the exact steps I took to make $1,000 online after quitting my job. There's no fluff. I'm giving you the straightforward steps I took, and I believe it can work for you. So let's get into it. This is the real raw story that changed my life, and I believe it could change yours too. If you are new here, my name is Noma, and I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs gain clarity, use their skills to create sustainable income without burning out. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start here. When I quit my job, I was scared, yes. I was scared. I was a little bit anxious, stressed out. But when I first made my $1,000, when I first initially made that money, I was like, oh, entrepreneurship is for me. So I know if it's possible for me, it's definitely possible for you. Today, I'm going to share with you what I did, what I wish I did sooner, and what you can do so that you don't go around the bush, so you are not wasting time, energy, and money to get to that point. Okay, so let me take you back real quick. I didn't quit my job because I didn't want to work. I love working. I actually loved that job. I loved that job. I was there for pretty much 12 years. So believe me, I loved that job. I loved the people that I met. I quit because every day felt like I was shrinking, like I was not my full self. I felt undervalued and unfulfilled. I knew I was called for more. I knew there was more to my life than what it was. Actually, that was exactly what I was telling myself every single day as I would get ready to go to work. Literally, the quote I would say to myself, there's more to life than this. There is more to life than this. The nudge got stronger. It intensified until where it was harder for me to stay than it was to leave. You know, before you take that leap, all sorts of thoughts are rummaging throughout your mind. What if it doesn't work? What if no one buys from me? What if I fail? But the peace I felt when typing out my resignation letter, it was something I couldn't describe. It didn't make sense because, mind you, I didn't have a backup plan. I barely had a savings account. It was just like, trust me, it was like I was being led. So I made that decision. And from that moment on, it was more like, let me see what happens if the good works, which it will. I started transitioning my lack mindset, my scarcity mindset, my fear into the positive. So instead of the what if it doesn't work, I was saying, what if it does work? What if all I need was the clarity and obedience to continue this vision that God has given me? What if I just need to be obedient and trust the process? So I typed it up, the resignation letter, I sent it in, haven't looked back since. So the first step I did to make that $1,000 was to identify the skills that I already possessed. I already had these skills, so there was no need for me to learn, putting in the time and energy, money to learn another skill. I identified the ones that I've already have, like what's in my hands, as God asked Moses, what's in your hands? That's in Exodus, by the way. But so I asked myself, what do people already come to me for? What comes to me easy that other people struggle with? What do I naturally do well? Then boom, I realized I have years of experience in business, but more specifically coaching businesses, digital products, making money online. And that's all I needed. So I took off from there. Let me be real with you. My first offer wasn't on a website. I didn't even have a website, to be honest. I didn't have even 2,000 followers. I didn't have I didn't have the colors. All I had were my skills. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had my skills. I had a belief in myself. I had faith that I know that if God gave me the vision, he would give me the strategy. Okay. I had that belief and I said, okay, let me put it together. Let me package it into an offer that can solve someone else's problem. Because I can't be all over the place and expect someone to pay me to solve their problem if I have a problem putting myself together. So I packaged it as a social media manager. So I was her social media manager, handling all things social media. And let me tell you this, people pay for clarity. They pay for solutions. If you have clarity, if you are direct, you know this is what you're doing. People are looking for you. You just need to know what you're doing. Once you identify what you are doing and you put yourself out there, people will come to you. You don't have to beg, force, or chase what's already yours. That's exactly what happened for me. I started showing up online. Online as in I created posts about what I was passionate about, knowing that my services can help someone, can solve their problem. I can help them. Back then I was a social media manager, so I could help them with their social media accounts and, use my skills that I've identified to help them, gain more followers for their Instagram accounts and so forth. So as I was continuously putting my work out there, I gained the confidence. It was easy, no, because it was something new to me. I didn't do it perfectly. I didn't do it with aesthetics, but I was consistent. I posted tips, I shared insights, I gave value, and I was consistent doing those things. And guess what? People were watching, even when I thought that they were not. I thought nobody was watching. I thought no one cared. Oh, people were watching. I didn't get my first client through a viral post, 3,000 likes, a fancy website, waiting for 10K followers. It came from a word of mouth. It came from me posting. It came from me putting myself out there, telling the world like, hey, I'm here. This is what I have to offer. Click the link. Someone reached out to me and the rest is history. She reached out to me. She needed what I offered, and she offered to pay that amount and then a lot. Not a then some, but then a lot more. So when I say put yourself out there, once you identify yourself, identify your skills, gain clarity on what it is that you're offering, the services, products, physical and or digital. Have clarity so that people know exactly what you can do for them, because they are out there. They just need to make sure that you are the person that can give them that give them that solution. The client paid me $10,000. I know I put $1,000 in the beginning, but that was my initial thought, and it ended up to be a total sum of $10,000. Here's what I wish I knew sooner. The mistakes I made along the way, especially right after I quit my job. Even I would say even before, because before I would quit my job, before I got full into business, I had clients, but I thought I needed branding. I thought I needed to be aesthetically pleasing. I thought I needed a full website before I put myself out there. I thought I needed like 10K followers. All lies, all false. You do not. You do not. And it held me back. So I'm here to let you know, don't allow those factors to hold you back from making income, from making money, because they're all lies. It is a mistake that I wish I would have learned sooner. And I'm here to tell you before you step into entrepreneurship that you do not need those things in order for you to start making money online. The moment I stopped thinking, who am I to start this business, and started to think, why not me? Every single thing shifted. This is the mindset shift that you need. God would not have called you, equipped you, if he didn't have the strategy, the clients and customers waiting for you. He cannot lie. He doesn't make any mistakes. When I say you feel that nudge, Pay attention to that nudge. Don't look at the lack. Oh, I don't have 10,000 followers. I had less than 2,000. Do you hear me? I had less than 2,000 followers. I didn't have a website. I didn't have branding. I didn't have a logo. Okay? I didn't have any of those things. Not only that, this client, I had a price in mind. I didn't even have a price sheet set up, but I had my skills packaged together and I said, this is it. In my head, I'm thinking, oh yeah, she's just going to pay me this amount. She paid 5-10 times more. When I say trust the process, you got to trust. Forget what your family and friends are saying. As long as you know what God told you, the rest is history. The rest is really up to you. Are you determined enough to gain clarity on what it is that you need to be doing, stepping into it with confidence and obedience and being consistent? You already got this in the bag. If you're in a space right now where you are unsure of where and how to start your business, this is why I created the Start Your Business Starter Kit. It gives you literally a step-by-step guide on how to identify your skills, what offers to create, and how to promote and market your business. Not only that, it gives you a guide on how to regulate your nervous system so you're not burning yourself out as you build your business. This is perfect for beginners and is a roadmap for you, especially if you quit your job, especially if you're thinking about quitting your job. In fact, it has a guide called Leaving Your 9-to-5, aka your next chapter. Literally, it's in this kit. There are 4 guides in one. So it is perfect for you if you're thinking about quitting your job. If you need an exit plan, a strategy, there's a guide for that in this kit. It's in the link in the description below. Remember, your first $1,000, $10,000 is not far away. You just need a simple roadmap. You need a guide. You need support. You need clarity on as to how to get there. And my guide and these videos will help you get there. Until next time, you got this.